Hey, what's up, guys? I'm like 3 weeks into this current blast, and I'm starting to feel the effects of getting my strength back. My like previous strength that I had over a year ago when I actually did proper cycles. Okay, and it's nowhere near where I was before. It's much stronger before, but you know what I mean. And it's not too impressive. But I made a short today. Actually, I posted on my YouTube channel. You can check it out, as well on my Facebook. And I got some kind of criticism, especially on Facebook, of people who thought it was funny, the fact that it wasn't, it was a full stack of tricep extensions. Okay, but get this. It wasn't like I was doing full range of motion. It was kind of partials in the last extension part. I'm going to give the rationale of why I did that and what I normally do. First of all, what I normally do isn't, 5 reps of like full stacks to like as an ego lift or whatever else. Like I don't normally do it because if you did that all the time, it's not going to be beneficial. I do a lot of volume work actually when it comes down to isolation work. But here's the thing, when it comes down to isolation movements, you do not necessarily, when you're going like a higher weight, want to go full range of motion like you would normally typically do, as far as like an isolation movement goes, because that's going to be a high risk of injury in a full stretched position. Okay, so for example, on a tricep extensions, this is going to be a stretch position. This is going to be the extended position, locked out position. But guess what? I'm only doing it from here to here. I'm not going up here like I would if I was doing lower weight. And it's not just by accident. It's not just to try to impress people. Like, look, I can do full stacks. There's a reason. There's a method to my madness about this. Okay. So first of all, the part that I have most problems with when it comes down to extension of the elbow joint slash GH joint, like compound movements, is on locking things out. So it's going to be on the second half of the lift. Okay, so the way to like for example, like overhead, like military press or a straight bench press, flat bar bench press, or whatever else, like even pec press, whatever else. The part that's going to be the hardest for me is going to be the second half. Okay, so how do you get better at that second half? And I have a method to this madness. Let me share with you. Okay, so first of all, you're going to do the compound movements in themselves. I recommend today I only did 3 sets of each movement itself, but normally I focus on one in particular, where I do 5 to 8 sets on one particular, like for example dips, or for example pec press. But today I did a kind of a breadth of a few different movements. But then you come down to the tricep extension. I recommend don't use the ropes. Use the triangle bar. Okay, much more advantageous if you want to get your compound extension lifts better. For the most part, people can like lift off their chest, for example, bench press up here, but then they start to struggle right around there. You know what I mean? So for this, because they don't have their triceps fully developed, but it's not just the muscles that are being activated. There's much more. Okay, and there's some connective tissue that you need to condition. There's the neuromuscular connection that you need to condition. And the only way to do that is through isolation movements where you're pushing your strength beyond just those rep ranges that we're stereotypically always taught that we should only do for something like a tricep extension. Okay? What you need to do is strength training of your tricep extension, but don't do the full range of motion. You really don't even need to do it. It's almost like a partial, but on the last little bit. Okay? Because get this, okay, I'm a boxer, right? Is the majority of the punch coming from here to here, or is it coming from here to here? It's coming from here to here. Like I could do punch right there, right? I'm not doing punch here. Well, unless you're up close, and maybe I'll do like a little uppercut or whatever. But it's like, pam, right? And that little extension, it's locking up. The lockout is going to be where a lot of people are, especially who are novice lifters. Like, I consider myself right now, to be honest, I lost so much strength over the last year because I haven't done a proper blast over last year, and to be honest, I've kind of slacked in the gym a little bit. Okay, but I'm back in the gym. I'm back blasting and things, and I was check it out for yourself. The shorts. It's nothing impressive, but I did 5 reps of tricep extension full stack, and I believe it was around like 100 and something pounds, whatever. But the thing is, though, that's when you can start to do isolation movements at a higher strength. All of a sudden, your compound movements become that much better. Okay, because it becomes from proximal to distal. Proximal being like your chest area, to distal being your extremities. Okay, if you work your proximal really well, great. That's great because it's like a basis. Okay, like you really want that basis down, and I'm not gonna say don't do that, but you got that basis down. But all of a sudden, like you try to bench press 3 plates, and you're just lifting off your chest a little bit, but you're not gonna be able to lock out because the rest of the lift is gonna be in things like triceps. Okay, so what you can do to if you like, for example, okay, this is about tricep extensions, because that's really what I was doing today. If you want to add weight to your flat bench, you have to add weight to your tricep extensions. Progressive overload. Progressive overload is like the key to everything. I promise. And it doesn't mean that you have to do it for every set, but you have these. You have to work up to that working set, if that makes sense. So the warm-up sets are actually sets in themselves. Don't get me wrong, they're not just like, they're still volume. And trust me, you've done a lot of sets up to that point in maybe the compound movements, but guess what? You're going to work up to this working set. My dog's a bit of a dick. He's barking at like 3 dogs at once. But as I was saying, you're working up to this working set where you're doing on the isolation movements, for example, on the tricep extensions, where if you build strength on that tricep extension, it's going to translate to everything else. And the other thing is, too, because this is an extremity, okay? It's your extremities, peripheral limbs. The other one is going to be the curls, okay? So what I do for more strength training on the, for the flexion of the arm, the elbow joint, is going to be not just normal bicep curls, preacher curls, but it's going to be preacher curls. Not preacher curls, sorry. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by my dog here. What's the one where it's like this with the ropes? I'm fucking retarded right now. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But the rope curls where it's like this. I can't even think of a name right now. Sorry, I'm kind of retarded now. Hey, shut up. The one where you look like you're fucking jerking off, like where you're fucking with the ropes. Anyway, but there's also a whole bunch of lifts I really recommend, and obviously you're not going to be doing strength training with your extremities for every lift. And what the key is that you're going to hit every angle. So, for example, I was saying triceps before. We're going to hit tricep exercise this way. We're going to hit tricep exercises this way, and tricep exercises this way. Okay, working the whole every head, because triceps means 3 tri, and there's 3 ways how to hit it. If that makes sense, okay. What a dick, my dog, eh? Fuck. But that's the key to what I'm saying. And listen, go check out my short, because I know everybody's going to say it's sloppy form, whatever else, blah, 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 whatever else. And I understand it is sloppy form. But guess what? It's partials. And in doing partials, even in just that lockout movement on a tricep, if you get that strength down, your lockout is going to be way better on everything else. I promise you. This is how I did it before. This is how I'm getting my strength back right now in this current blast where I'm like 3 weeks plus in. Like 3 weeks ago, I wouldn't be anywhere close to doing what I like. Look out this short. I would have been nowhere close to doing what I just did today. And I get it. It's nothing impressive what I just showed you, but guess what? I'm getting there, and I know how to do it, because what you got to do is test your strength. You get it in that 5 rep range. In that 5 rep range, get that 5 rep range down in isolation movements, over weeks at a time, and your strength in the other compound movements are going to be ridiculous. I promise you that. I will. I promise you that. This is what I've studied and I've experienced in, and believe it or not, I have background in. Okay, because if you're just doing pure volume, which is great if you already have the bases down, like if you're already like fucking I don't know, Sam Sulik or whatever, you already have the base down on your frame, then you can do a lot more volume and do things. You don't have to work strength and things so hard, right? But when you don't have that, you got to catch up. You got to work strength a little bit more. I promise you, to build towards that physique. So don't just listen to bodybuilders. You got to listen to people who maybe do a little ego lift once in a while. Not every lift, but once in a while do it. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Peace.